The sun rises over a city you will never see, not because it no longer exists, but because the people who built it, who loved within its walls, who watched their children play in its courtyards, have been silent for 2,000 years. And yet, for the first time in human history, artificial intelligence has done something impossible. It has listened to the silence. It has read the stones. It has pieced together fragments of pottery, faded inscriptions, buried bones, and whispered back to us what was lost. What you are about to witness is not a documentary. It is a resurrection. 3 civilizations, 3 ordinary days, 3 moments when everything changed. And by the end, you will understand something that history books never taught you. That the people who built these empires were not so different from you. That they woke up on the last normal morning of their lives believing tomorrow would come. It never did. Let us begin in Rome. The year is 79 AD, though you would never call it that. To you, it is simply another summer morning in the port city of Pompeii. The air smells of bread baking in the communal ovens, of salt carried in from the harbor, of the faint sulfur that always hangs in the air near the mountain. You do not think about the mountain. No one thinks about the mountain. Your name is Lucia, and you are 17 years old. You work in your father's small shop near the Forum, selling clay lamps to travelers and locals alike. The work is repetitive, but you do not mind. You like watching people. You like imagining where they have been, where they are going, what secrets they carry in their traveling bags. This morning, your father is late. He went to the baths early, complaining of a stiffness in his shoulder. Your mother is in the back room, grinding grain for the evening meal. Your younger brother Marcus is supposed to be helping you arrange the display, but he has wandered off again, probably to watch the gladiators train at the amphitheater. The city hums with its usual rhythm. Merchants call out their wares. A politician's slave posts a notice on the wall, advertising an upcoming election. 2 women argue about the price of fish. A dog sleeps in a patch of sunlight. You notice briefly that the dog lifts its head and whines. Then it stands and trots away down a side street, tail between its legs. You think nothing of it. The AI that reconstructed this moment pulled data from over 4,000 artifacts. Graffiti on walls, bread carbonized in ovens, coins still clutched in skeletal hands. It cross-referenced seismic records, volcanic deposit analysis, and the preserved expressions on plaster casts of victims who died with their hands over their faces. What the AI learned is this. Most people in Pompeii had no idea what a volcano was. The mountain had been quiet for 800 years. When it began to rumble that morning, they assumed it was an earthquake. They had survived earthquakes before. You feel the first tremor around midday. The lamps on your shelf rattle. A few fall and shatter on the stone floor. Your mother rushes in, asks if you are hurt. You say you are fine. She says your father will be angry about the broken merchandise. You begin sweeping up the pieces. The second tremor is stronger. This time, the rumble does not stop. It builds, deepens, becomes a sound you have never heard before. It is as if the earth itself is groaning. You step outside. Others are doing the same. People stand in the street, looking toward the mountain, shielding their eyes from the sun. And then you see it, a column of smoke. No, not smoke. Something darker, denser, rising into the sky faster than anything should move. It climbs and climbs and climbs, and then it spreads outward, blocking the sun, turning the day into twilight. Someone screams, and then the stones begin to fall. Not rain, not hail, pumice, hot and light and endless, pouring from the sky like the heavens have opened and are trying to bury you alive. You run back inside. Your mother grabs your arm. She is saying something, but you cannot hear her over the roaring. The air is thick with ash. You are choking. Marcus is not here. Your father is not here. You never see them again. The AI recreated your final hour from the position of your remains. You were found in the back room, curled against the wall, your arms wrapped around your mother. The roof had not collapsed. You did not burn. You suffocated slowly as the ash filled the room and stole the air from your lungs. You were 17 years old. You liked watching people. You wondered where they were going. You never got to find out. Now let us go further back. 3,000 miles away, 1,000 years earlier. The Nile is flooding, which means the gods are pleased. Your name is Genmeset, and you are a stonemason working on a temple complex in Thebes. You are 43 years old, which is considered old for a man of your profession. Your hands are calloused, your back aches constantly, and you have lost 3 teeth to accidents and infection. But you are proud of your work. You have helped build monuments that will stand for eternity. You do not know that you are right. You do not know that tourists will photograph your work 3,000 years from now. This morning, you wake before dawn in the small mud brick house you share with your wife and 2 surviving children. 3 others did not survive infancy. You do not speak of them, but you think of them often, especially when you pass the small shrine in the corner where their names are inscribed. Your wife, Nefertari, is already awake. She is preparing bread and beer for your morning meal. She moves slowly these days. The last birth was difficult. The healers say she should not have another child, but you both know that is not entirely within your control. You eat in silence, watching the first light creep through the doorway. Then you kiss her forehead and walk to the temple site. The AI reconstructed this day from worker records found in the tomb of a vizier, from dietary analysis of remains found in a worker's village, and from hieroglyphic inscriptions detailing a construction accident that killed 14 men. You are one of the 14. You do not know this yet. You are thinking about the limestone block you must help move today. It is massive, larger than any you have worked with before. The overseer says it will become part of a pharaoh's legacy. You do not care about legacies. You care about getting through the day without injury, about the extra ration of meat you were promised for this difficult work, about the way Nefertari smiled at you this morning, despite her pain. The ropes are frayed. You noticed this 2 days ago and mentioned it to the overseer. He told you the ropes would be replaced soon. They were not replaced. When the block shifts, you hear the snap before you feel anything, the sound of rope fibers giving way, the grinding of stone against wooden rollers, the shouts of men who realize too late what is happening. The block falls. You are not crushed immediately. That would have been merciful. Instead, you are pinned from the waist down, your legs shattered beyond recognition. You are conscious. You will remain conscious for almost 6 hours. Your fellow workers try to lift the block. They cannot. They try to dig you out. They cannot. Eventually, a priest is called. He speaks words over you, prayers to guide your soul to the afterlife. Someone holds your hand. You think of Nefertari. You think of your children. You think of the 3 small names inscribed on the shrine in the corner of your home. You think, I will see them again soon. The AI analyzed the skeletal remains found at the construction site. It noted the pattern of fractures, the position of the body, the angle of the fallen stone. It calculated the time of death based on bone healing patterns that indicate survival after initial injury. It concluded that you died afraid, but not alone. Someone held your hand until the end. This is the only comfort history can offer. Now we go west, across an ocean that your world does not know exists. The year is approximately 900 AD by a calendar that will not be invented for another 500 years. You are a young woman named Ixchel, and you live in a city that scholars will later call Capan, in the heart of the Maya civilization. The city is dying. You do not understand this yet. You only understand that the rains have not come, that the crops have failed for the 3rd year in a row, that your younger sister died last month, and your parents burned offerings at the temple, and the priests promised that the gods would be appeased. The gods were not appeased. The AI reconstructed the collapse of Maya civilization from tree ring data, sediment cores, and the sudden cessation of monument building across multiple city-states. It determined that a prolonged drought, combined with overpopulation and environmental degradation, created a cascade failure that ended one of the most sophisticated civilizations in human history. You know none of this. You only know that you are hungry. This morning, you walked to the reservoir at the edge of the city. It used to be full. Now it is a muddy pit, and people line up for hours to collect what little water remains. You carry a clay jar on your head, the same jar your grandmother carried before she died. The line moves slowly. The sun beats down. A child behind you begins to cry, and her mother shushes her with a desperation that sounds like fear. When you reach the front of the line, the water is brown and smells of decay. You fill your jar anyway. You have no choice. On the walk home, you pass the great temple at the center of the city. Once, it gleamed white in the sunlight, covered in painted stucco that told stories of gods and kings. Now, the paint is fading. The steps are cracked. No one has repaired them in years. You remember watching ceremonies here as a child. The drums, the incense, the priests in their feathered headdresses calling down blessings from the sky. You believed, truly believed, that the gods lived in that temple, that they watched over your people, that they would never let you fall. You do not know what you believe anymore. The AI analyzed pollen samples from this period and found evidence of rapid deforestation as desperate populations cleared land for agriculture. It found evidence of malnutrition in skeletal remains. It found evidence of violence, of fortifications hastily built, of communities turning against each other as resources dwindled. It found evidence that you survived, barely. Your city will be abandoned within 50 years. The jungle will reclaim the temples, the palaces, the reservoirs. Trees will grow through the floors of homes where families once laughed and argued and loved. You will not be there to see it. You will die young, like most of your generation, worn out by hunger and hardship and the slow death of everything you knew. But before you die, you will have a daughter. And your daughter will have a daughter. And somewhere, thousands of years later, a woman with your same dark eyes and your same stubborn spirit will walk through the jungle and discover the ruins of your city. She will not know that her ancestor once carried water from that reservoir. She will not know that her blood remembers this place. But the AI knows. The AI knows that Rome fell not to barbarians, but to the accumulated weight of 1,000 small failures. That Egypt endured not because of its gods, but because of workers like Hamweset, who built monuments with bleeding hands and broken bodies. That the Maya did not vanish, but transformed, adapted, survived against all odds. The AI knows that every civilization believes it will last forever. None of them do. And now you sit here, watching this story, living in a civilization that believes the same thing. You wake up each morning assuming tomorrow will come. You complain about traffic and deadlines and the price of groceries. You forget most days that you are living in a moment that will one day be ancient history. The people of Pompeii forgot too. They swept up broken pottery and wondered when the earthquakes would stop. The workers of Thebes forgot too. They complained about frayed ropes and moved massive stones and trusted that someone else would fix the problems. The people of Capan forgot too. They lined up for water and prayed for rain and believed that the world they knew would last forever. They were all wrong. And one day, perhaps thousands of years from now, an intelligence we cannot imagine will sift through the ruins of our cities. It will analyze our bones, read our messages, reconstruct our final moments from the position of our remains. It will try to understand who we were, what we loved, what we feared. It will wonder why we did not see the warnings. And it will tell our story to whoever comes next, the same way we have just told theirs. Because that is all any of us can hope for in the end. Not to be remembered as empires or monuments or conquering armies, just to be remembered as people. People who woke up on ordinary mornings. People who loved someone. People who never got to say goodbye. The sun sets over a city you will never see. But now, at least, you know who lived there.